So in this video we learn different kinds of elasticities of supply. I hope you remember elasticity of demand we have already learnt. Here depending on the responsiveness of the quantity supplied to the price change, we study these kinds of elasticities. Now first one, perfectly elastic. So elastic supply is equal to infinite. So here you find x-axis quantity supplied, y-axis price, OP. There is no change in the price, but the supply quantity supplied changes, OQ, then it decreases to OQ1, then it increases to OQ2. So here you find when there is an infinite supply at a particular price and the supply becomes zero with a slight fall in decrease, then the supply of such commodity is said to be perfectly elastic. So here you find elasticity of supply is equal to infinite. So the supply curve lies horizontal to x-axis. So you find it decreases and it increases. Example, at rupees 30 per unit, 100 units are supplied. Then for the same price 200 units are supplied. Same price 300 units are supplied. So the quantity supplied can be OQ, OQ1 or OQ2 at the same price OP. So it is perfectly elastic supply, but this is an imaginary situation only. Now next, perfectly inelastic, that is ES is equal to 0. Here you find the price changes OP, then OP1, then OP2. The quantity supplied remains the same OQ. So here you find the price increases, price decreases, but there is no change in the quantity supplied. So SS curve is vertical line and vertical to x-axis. So what is that x-axis? Quantity supplied. So here you find changes in the price do not make any change in the quantity supplied. So it is perfectly inelastic. The next one, highly elastic. So here you find x-axis quantity supplied, y-axis price. So you find OP. At OP you find OQ is the supply and quantity supplied. Then price increases to OP1. So at OP1 you find the supply increase to OQ1. But here you find the proportionate change in price is less than proportionate change in Q. So here the supply, the proportionate change in supply is more than the proportionate change in price. So elastic supply is greater than 1. The next one, less elastic. That is, elasticity of supply is less than 1. So here you find, here I can give you one more example. The quantity supplied is 100 for when the price is 10 rupees per unit. The quantity supplied is 200 when the price is at 15 rupees. So the price difference 15 minus 10, 5. Whereas the change in the quantity you find 100. So the quantity change is more than the change in price. Now less elastic supply is less than 1. So here and here they have to follow one more thing, SS intercept at y-axis. It is not passing through origin, it intercepts at y-axis. Now let's come to less elastic. ES is less than 1. When you look at this diagram, you find percentage change in quantity supplied is less than the price quantity, percentage change in price. So here OQ, OQ1, you find the difference. Then OP1 minus OP, you find the difference is more. So though the price changes, increases, but the quantity supplied increases at a lower level. So this is less elastic. If 100 units are supplied at the price 10 per unit, rupees 10 per unit. Then when the price increases to 15 rupees per unit, you find 120 units are supplied. So the quantity supplied is more. So that is what? Yes. And it is okay. And here you find the supply curve as an intercept on x-axis. Highly elastic intercept on y-axis, less elastic supply curve intercept on x-axis. So you find change in price is more than change in quantity supplied. Now next one, unitary elastic supply is equal to 1. So when a percentage change in quantity supplied is equal to percentage change in price. So both these are equal, which is said to be unitary elastic. So elastic supply is equal to 1 and supply curve is a straight line passing through the origin. Example, 10 rupees per unit. When it is 10 rupees per unit, the supply is 100 units. When unit price is 15 rupees per unit, 150 supplied. So you find 50%. If the quantity supplied also rises by 50% due to 50% rise in price. So the quantity supplied, change in quantity supplied and change in price are the same. And any straight line supply curve which passes through the origin as unitary elastic supply irrespective of the angle it makes with the origin.